Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. We're done with the work week and it's Saturday. And this is exciting, right? Because I haven't been on live in a while and I've been trying to do it weekly. So I just wanted to come to you guys and say happy Saturday. And if you don't know me, excuse me, this is Mercedes and I'm the founder of HR for Millennials. And I come from an HR background and I'm also a corporate recruiter. So every once in a while I go live and I try and share my knowledge with you so that you guys can use this information to accelerate your job search. So if you're on the call already, just say hi in the comments. I want to know that you're here and that you are kind of ready to get some cool information about your resume. So what we're talking about today is 3 reasons you may need to break up with your resume. And it's sad, you've been through a lot, you spent a lot of time on this resume, working with this resume, trying to get through your job search because you're passionate about getting to the next level in your career or getting that first job right out of college. And so you've invested so much time into this resume, and I understand why it would be definitely really hard to feel like you're going to leave this and you're going to start over. But I can tell you that if your resume, if you are on this live and your resume, you're like, yeah, I don't feel that way about my resume anymore based on any of these reasons, it might be time for you to break up with your resume. As sad as that sounds, I had to break up with my resume too. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that as well. But the first reason that you should break up with your resume is that it doesn't give you confidence. So if you're going to, maybe you even got an interview with your resume, and you don't really feel confident when you're handing it to the hiring manager, or when you're applying online, you don't feel like, yes, based on my resume, I am the perfect candidate for this position, then you might need to break up with it, because you should feel when you read your resume like, oh my gosh, I would hire me. It should make you feel proud and confident of your experience, your abilities, what you've done thus far, because really, if you don't feel confident when you read your resume, that won't transfer to anybody else when they're reading it. They won't understand your background, they don't understand your value, they don't know why they want to hire you. So if you don't really know why you want to hire you, then your resume is really a useless tool at that point, because it's not really selling your experience. It's not giving you a confidence boost. It's not getting you anywhere in your job search. So if you read your resume, it doesn't, light a fire in your soul of, yes, I'm this awesome professional, then like I said, it might be time to just completely start over. Make sure you start your resume fresh, so that you can make sure that you have the confidence going into your job search, that your resume is a great supporting tool in your job search, and that you feel confident and happy with it. The next reason why you might need to break up with your resume, let's say you're really happy with your resume, like every time you hand your resume to somebody, you're like, oh man, this is exciting, I love my resume, people love me, but then you aren't getting a response from employers. So you might have applied to 30 positions and not heard anything back, or got one interview. If you're applying to that many positions and not getting a response like that, it probably means that your resume isn't a good fit at face value for what that individual is looking for. And that's not to say that you're not a good fit. You're probably a great candidate. You are probably the person that they are looking for. You will probably add a lot of value to the organization and institution. But if you don't sell yourself on your resume, you're never going to get a call back, because either they can't find you because you don't have the skills on your resume that they're looking for, or B, if they find you, they're probably passing on you because there's no skills there that are either transferable or a good match for that position. And sometimes you may have the skill set for that. You may be a very qualified candidate, but you don't have all that information in your resume. And in that case, you're not getting a response from them. So if you feel like you're applying to so many positions, but you're not getting a response back, you might need to break up with your resume. It might not be actually helping you out, right? It might be hurting your job search and, really getting you further away from your career goals as far as, getting more interviews, getting that final offer. If your resume is not supporting you, right, it's a useless tool, and you might need to reconsider, using a different resume format or changing it altogether. Um, and the last one, it really ties into everything that we've been talking about so far, but you may need to break up with your resume if it's nothing special. And what I mean by that is there's something about you as a professional, as the ambitious, amazing, highly talented millennial professional that you are, right? If you don't have something special in your resume that sets you apart from others, whether it's your accomplishments, your skills, your level of experience, what you've done, what you're able to do, if it's not something that sets you apart from another candidate, now you don't have to be special in every way, right? There's probably something that is great about you that other candidates don't have, and I bet you if you sit here and think about it and say, how have I consistently added value over my career, or what knowledge do I have that is, what knowledge do I have that sets me apart from everybody else? How do I add value? What's my skill set? What's my unique background, right? What makes you special? And you have to make sure that that's really in your resume, and that it's easy to understand that for other people that are reading your resume that don't know who you are, because they're not going to, if at face value you don't show your value, so show why you're special, show what sets you apart from the rest of your resume, they have no reason to want to contact you. You might know that, but if you're feeling like you're applying and you're not getting any response, it is probably one of those reasons. You don't have a resume that you can be proud of. You don't have a resume that people are responding to because you're not engaging them and you're not selling yourself. And the third thing is that it's really not setting you apart and it's nothing special. So for me, I talked about how I had to, in my own job search, I had to really break up with my resume. I threw out the whole resume. I started over. I did all of my bullets, all of my work experience, all of my education, my skills, my objective. I redid the whole resume and I reformatted it. And I've never had as much success in my job search before. And I can say that when you really reframe yourself and think about your resume as a selling tool and something that's going to really sell yourself and advance your career to individuals who have never met you through your resume, you have to think about that and be very strategic about what you do put on your resume. And it has to be something that you'd look at your resume and say, oh my God, this is amazing. I would hire me. And there's definitely a way to do that. You just got to think really hard about what makes you special, what sets you apart, what your skill sets are, and weave it into there. And also pull in what you think or what you know they want from you. And if you've hit all of those marks, you're definitely going to have a great resume. If you're out there and you're like, well, geez, how do I go about creating this whole new resume? How do I, make sure I have everything that I need? And how do I make sure I'm not missing anything? And how do I make sure that I'm doing what you said you're going to do? And break up with your resume, start all fresh, and really make sure that your resume has the correct content. Well, lucky for you, I'm doing a masterclass on resumes. And so if you are interested in that, right after this live, I will post in the comments how to sign up for the class and what it will be about. And if you feel like you could be best supported by having a process to understand more about how to start your resume from the beginning to the end, I think you definitely want to be on my masterclass. I'm going to be sharing a lot of information about resumes. So just to go over that, if any of these things apply to you, it might be time to break up with your resume and start with a brand new one that's going to sell yourself. So if your resume doesn't give you confidence when you're applying, if you're applying to lots of positions but employers aren't getting back to you and it's kind of dead silence after you reply or after you apply. And then the last thing is if there's nothing special about you on your resume and what makes you a great candidate or fit for the role. So let me know in the comments if one of these three things apply to you. If you don't feel like you are confident in your job search because your resume just doesn't sell and doesn't tell your story and you don't get a response and you don't really know how to kind of infuse some some excitement and some attention grabbing things in your resume, and why you feel like you're struggling with that. I'd love to know in the comments. But until then, I'll see you for our next live, and I do hope that you join me for my master's class, because I'm going to be sharing a lot of information to really accelerate your job search based on your resume. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.